It's been almost 200 years since anyone's changed the design of a sluice box. Well, that is, until now.
Call now. $9.95 a minute. I'm on a virgin gold-bearing creek using one of the most advanced sluice boxes ever produced. Sluice boxes like that in the last 150 years have come a long way. Unlike hangovers, eh? They're exactly the same.
They're not good. Don't go out on the creek if you're feeling a bit worse to wear after a big weekend.
Gadsy may be feeling under the weather, but this sluice box isn't, and I'm about to put it to work for the very first time. The great thing about gold prospecting today is we have so much choice. There are a lot of gimmicky tools out there, but even the gimmicky tools kind of work. So realistically speaking, there are only 3 reasons you should buy a piece of prospecting equipment in the first place. The first one is if you like it. If you like the look of it, it's probably going to work. There's very few products I've tried, including my homemade stuff, that don't catch gold at a high rate. The second reason is if it fits your application. If you need a tool for a specific task. And the last reason you buy a piece of prospecting equipment like this is because of your physical capabilities. Maybe you are limited in your ability to carry lots of weight, and this is very light. Or maybe you're a fit, young, healthy, strapping young buck who's able to carry a 4-ton trommel out to the bush. Either way, you've got to buy the piece of equipment that suits you. And that's where companies like Dream Mat have brought a lot of innovation. This sluice box is obviously replicated roughly around the Keen A52 sluice. And the Keen A52 is a fantastically capable little unit. It's very light, very portable, super easy to get in and quite efficient, but it uses older drop riffle technology, whereas Dream Mat has their own technology that increases gold capture rates on certain types of ground, like I've got behind me. This is not the only product we're going to be taking a look at today. I've got one more. Move over, traditional round squircle pan. Yeet. Bring in the best dam pan.
Nice.
Yes, it looks like a dust pan. Now they call it a speed pan. I personally don't think it is, because the capacity of this pan is quite small. So it's fast because it doesn't have a lot of dirt in it. But can you put some dirt in that for me? He's moving at a hungover pace. So whilst this pan is touted as a speed pan and it's not that fast because of its capacity, it does have a definite place. If you like this pan, it is kind of cool and it takes the steep learning curve out of gold panning for you. And that makes it ideally suited to children, because let's face it, you don't want to drag a child on a massive gold prospecting hunt where they get annoyed and pissed off with you and never want to go again. You're going to make it more tailored to them. And as I was saying about the physical capabilities, this is much easier to use and much lighter. And that means that if you are limited in capacity, you can definitely take one of these and it fits in your bucket or your backpack and you don't have to worry about it. So the interesting thing about this pan is that this dam in it contains all your dirt. So as you shake, it actually forces all of your gold to the bottom, guaranteed, and then it has to go out over the top of a riffle system. But I've been told you can use it without it, so we're going to try that. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with asparagus. It's got clean off riffles in the corner of the pan. And you just use it like a traditional pan. There's a lot of black sand in that, Gadsy.
Yeah, I didn't get much gold, though.
Now, whether or not Gadsy gave me any gold, apparently you can use a tapping method for this and the gold just walks out. Gadsy, you didn't give me any gold. Oh no, there it is. I forgot that when you're looking for gold, you have to use your eyes. There we go. Our first 2 small flakes for the day. Oh, let's go feed the sluice box. I need my dam. This dam here took me an hour and a half to build. But it was worth it because I could just plonk the sluice down. Look at that. I'm digging on this inside bend here. There's a lot of gold there. I've done 3 videos in this spot, I think. And the great thing about these Dream Mat sluices, when you're not working clay-based soils, and we have got a little bit of clay here, but I'm going to be shoveling mostly gravel, you don't have to classify. You can just raw dog it. It's a beautiful thing about prospecting. It breeds a lot of innovation. And you just never know what people are going to come up with. And there's nothing inherently wrong with any of it. We've all been using the same technology for hundreds of years. This stuff works great. And you can choose to use it or not. A quick overview of how Dream Mat works. It's very simple. You just follow these hooks here. As the water comes down, it drags your dirt down. The gold stratifies because it's so heavy it goes to the bed of the sluice. It drags along the bed, it hits these hooks, and the hooks turn the water back upstream. That means your gold is always wanting to travel back up the sluice box, and it makes it very difficult for that gold to travel any further down. So much so that the dead water and just 2 shovels is revealing some nice gold here.
This little creek is on private property and it hasn't been accessed by modern prospectors in well over 100 years, meaning that there are some incredibly rich deposits along its length. And you just wait to see the gold I got from this trip.
I'm only 11 shovels in. We have got gold all over the first cells. And this agitation is what we're looking for. See how the dirt's moving around? That's that spiral vortex working. That's going to clear all the black sand out so I can keep digging. Ooh, listen to that. That is the sound of money. Oh, 43 cents worth. This is the decaying bedrock that's holding most of our gold. It's literally covered in black sand and we know there's good gold in it. All I'm doing is washing the loose stuff off the top of it and then stacking it aside for future processing in something that can handle it. But I want to know, I haven't spent too much time breaking up clay like this. Usually gold sits on top of the clay and within the first inch or two, that's where it can't get through, so it doesn't sink any deeper unless it's big nuggety bits. So I don't usually break it up. I'm going to break this clay up and just see what we get out of it. You can see it's so tedious to do this. This is why I do it elsewhere and with tools that are designed for it.
The vast majority of gold in my area is under 1/30th of an inch in size. It just doesn't have the weight to penetrate through clay. But if you have nuggets in your area, you should be checking.
Holy crap, that was one tiny piece of clay. Look at all the black sand we got out of that and the gold. Yeah, that clay's worth processing, but just not in this sluice because we'll lose it all. I don't recommend doing this if you're an amateur prospector trying to get gold for the first time, but I've got enough gold in my life that it doesn't matter if I lose a little bit. Watch what happens when I poke these riffles. Look at how much gold's in them. Seriously, don't waste your gold. Let me do that. How's the brain?
Foggy.
He's so full of youth and exuberance.
Yeah.
This, however, is what we are here for. This is the black sand, the tin that's accumulating on that decaying bedrock. It's the only spot I've ever seen this happen, where there's so much of it, you can get a cross cut of what's going on in the bed of the creek. All that tin, all those heavy pieces of material that we normally hunt for are sitting directly on top of where the bedrock starts. Every time I put a handful down, we're seeing new specks of gold. Now I'm going to need you to do one thing for me, and that is to stop worrying about loss. Yes, this will be losing some gold, just like every other piece of gold prospecting equipment you have ever used, including the most high-end metal detectors. You can't catch it all, and that's alright. It's not Pokemon, Gadsy. It's not. In breaking news, man struggles with shovel. Come on, Faber. Come on, Faber. No, Gadsy. Carbon fire.
Carbon fire.
This is the slowest I've ever seen Gadsy move, ever.
Send dares.
How many dares?
Many. And pizza.
Dares and pizza?
Dares and pizza.
Papa needs a new dare. How many monies are dares? Bloody inflation. I blame the government. Oh, you can't buy a dare with that.
No, I certainly can't.
Oh. First you get the deposit, then you get the energy, then you get the gold. That's what Gadsy believes anyway. I'm going to contact DreamMat and see if I can get one of them for next month's patron giveaway. If you want to join up to patron, it costs just $2 a month. There's no long-term commitments, no lock-in contracts. We give away gear, pay dirt and gold every single month, as well as early video releases. Link in the description below. This gorse bush is where my pay dirt is, and I got right up underneath there, pulled out some sticky gooey clay, put very little dirt into this pan, and that's the gold that came out of it. So that's what I've been feeding my sluice box all day. I reckon it's going to be a pretty decent cleanup. And I found this. That is a stunning agate that came up on the shovel. Bands on bands, circles on bands. Here I am shoveling away, minding my own business, and not just one. That is an amazing crystal. I think that's probably going to be a topaz, but by the looks of it, two. Yep. Oh, dropped it. Two. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What a crystal. But that right there is on a whole other level. That is clear as. Get in the pocket. Gadsy and I have now been panning and sluicing for a while, and it is kind of killing me to know what's in this box. So far I have counted 80 shovels, and I'm going to do a clean out just because I want to see. There's a little bit of black sand in that from a test pan earlier. Ooh, lordy, lordy. Wow. As you may be able to see, apparently this sluice box not only collects gold, but a butt ton of gems. Oh, but don't worry, there's plenty of gold in there. One of the more fun things to do is just pull the riffle apart and see what comes out of it. No way! Whoa! Oh my god, that riffle's full of gold.
Oh my god.
Alright, alright. They're packed. They're packed full of gold. Dream Mat almost never leaves you with very much in the way of concentrates, which is good because this creek is full of black sand, as you can see. And you should never clean up on the creek because it's a very easy way to lose gold, he says as he tries to reduce some of the concentrates on the creek. Well, we don't really need to because that's it. That's all that sluice box gave us. That's pretty wicked. We're obviously going to clean this up properly at home. We're just going to have a sneak peek of whatever's in here. Right now, this is the product of about 80 shovels, give or take, probably a little less. Ooh, damn. I don't know how much is there. We'll find out later. But for now, that is a great start to the day. Fine and crunchy gold all mixed together. So that sluice box was working very well. And leads. Fair bit of lead in there too. It's been about 3 weeks since getting out sluice box out of the creek, and this is my concentrates. Just look at how much gold came out of 80 shovels. The amazing thing about this gold is its large particle size for my area. The not so amazing thing is it's mixed with a lot of black sand, and this black sand is tin. Normally, I would use a classifier, just like this one, to reduce the particle size, and then I would go through one classification size at a time to separate the gold from the tin. But gold's so soft, it doesn't break. It just molds and bends and deforms. So why don't we just crush the tin, make it all a powder, and then it should just stream off while all our gold sits on the miller table. This is a hand operated jaw crusher. By moving this handle up and down, it actuates this plate here, and this plate grinds against this plate, turning everything in between to powder. Normally I would use it on pieces of gold ore like this for sampling. This is either going to work really well or not well at all. Okay, here we go. That has literally taken most of the black sand down to exactly the same size. To do this cleanup job, I'm going to use my homemade miller table. It is powered by a control box made by Gold Fox. And I'm going to leave a link below to the video where I made this miller table so you can make one at home if you want to. And also a few other links down there to my Amazon account for gear that's relevant and handy to have. Let's see how we go with our first teaspoon and hope that crushing has done something good. Woo! Oh my god! The trick with all miller tables is to just continuously manipulate the sands until they come away. We're getting a lot of migration. So I'm just going to turn the water volume down a little bit. That's ridiculous! Look how much gold there is out of one spoon. I have literally done entire pans of black sand from sluice boxes before for less gold than what's on the table now from 1 teaspoon. That is not even all of the gold from that 1 spoon. There would have to be a gram of gold on the table right now. That creek's unreal. It's the richest creek I've ever worked, period. I know that's not 100% clean, but I can get the rest of that in a pan. I just need some of that to go into the collection vessel. This will be the biggest push I've ever had. Oh! That first spoonful was amazing, and by the looks of it, it's only going to continue in that direction. I mean, realistically, that was half a spoonful, and the gold is still ridiculous. Almost every single spoonful is at least half a gram. That's insane how much gold is coming out of this. Oh my god. That is not a small jar. There is still a lot of gold in this VMAT. I'm going to clean this out at a later date, but for now, damn son. I reckon this is going to be one of the best days of alluvial stream prospecting that I have ever had. That is just off the hook. I literally have no words to describe how amazing that amount of gold in our area is. This is the gold from the first panning session I did on that creek, and this is the gold I managed to get from the sluice box from the exact same deposit. I remember this one being almost 2 grams, so I'm thinking we're probably closer to 3. Let's find out. Come on, baby. Big bucks. Well, we're over 2. This is, oh, am I doing 3? Can we do 4? Can we do 4? Holy crap, 4.27 grams. That is my biggest single day alluvial take. I found more gold in nuggets. I found more gold in ore. I found more gold over multiple sessions in the same spot, but for one day and just 80 shovels of sluicing, over 4 grams of gold is massive. That means this gold right here is worth almost 400 Australian dollars.